It's been a while since I've done one of these HighView vlogs, so why don't we start doing one right now? And today's topic is Sonic Adventure Remake or Remastered. I'm LeoHightower, so let's get to the high view and point of this topic.
It's game time!
According to Sonic Team's Takashi Iizuka, he wants to do a Sonic Adventure remake of all things. In a news article in Retro Gamer Looks Back at Sonic Adventure, Iizuka went on to say this: "It was the first high-speed 3D action game that also featured scenario highlighted with 6 different stories. The A-Life Chow, 6 unique styles of gameplay. It was a unique offering even 20 years after its release. However, it was the very first 3D game that we worked on, and looking at it now, I can see the rough edges it has, which really makes me want to remake it again." That, in my opinion, would actually be a very cool and very interesting idea to go along with. In fact, I'd all be on the hype train for a Sonic Adventure remake. Or for that matter, maybe a remastering of the game, kinda like how they did Metroid Zero Mission for that matter, or how they did DuckTales Remastered. If they did something like that, that would be extraordinarily awesome. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if that would even be remotely possible, because as things stand now, Sonic Team is no longer a developer for Sega as far as I know, and as far as we all know and everything, they haven't put out a single Sonic game in years. Most of the games that have been coming out featuring Sonic have been made by other developers such as Sonic Boom, Big Red Button, Sonic Mania, Sega, and Christian Whitehead, and Headcanon, and for that matter, Sonic Forces, which was created by writers and developers of Sonic Colors and Generations. So yeah, I don't think that that would even be possible, you guys. If they were to try and redo Sonic Adventure, or for that matter remaster it, then bring on the original creators and developers for that matter. Heck, get Jun Sunaro, however you pronounce his last name, to bring him on board to do some of the music for that matter, because Sonic Team Racing, even though it hasn't come out yet, they're expecting it to come out maybe sometime this year. The music for it is simply awesome with the various remixes that they have been putting out. And if that music is going to be, it's going to showcase the racetracks whenever the game comes out, I'd be like, hell yeah. But in my honest opinion, I don't know if this would even be possible because, as I said before, Sonic Team is no longer a developer in Sega. We haven't seen them put out a single Sonic game in years, and with how mediocre the Sonic titles have been getting lately, I'm not really having any faith for it, because as we have been wanting a Sonic Adventure 3 for I don't know how many years now, and there have been no talks or any concerns, or even for that matter mentions of it even coming out. Fans have been making their own fan-made games of Sonic, and those have been doing a whole lot more than anything that Sega has put out featuring our beloved Blue Blur. Seriously. And with how the sales of Sonic Forces did, basically, especially with the gameplay wise, I am very, 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 very disappointed, because Sonic has been one of my favorite video game franchises since I was practically a little kid. I grew up into it more than anything, and I'm losing faith and hope in my favorite mascot of all time. It makes me almost want to move on to, well, to other franchises, basically. I stated one time to a friend, Kira the Hedgehog, on one of her videos, the franchise so far has been good, it's been bad, and I've been starting to lose interest in my Blue Hedgehog fan. I've been losing interest in the Blue Blur. It's sad. And considering that Sonic Adventure was one of the first 3D Sonic games I played growing up in 1990, this to me would be one of those big mind-blown moments where I'm like, oh yes, please do it, I'm begging you. But to be truthful, I think the one game that would need to be fixed up or remastered more than anything would be Sonic Adventure 2. Because Sonic Adventure 2, despite it being okay and good, it had some major flaws that needed to be fixed, just like Sonic Adventure 1. In my honest opinion, I don't think the game needs a full remake, more like it needs a remastering, like DuckTales Remastered. They could expand upon the adventure fields, improve the graphics, fix some of the major bugs, but the controls and voice acting should stay the same. Or you could just incorporate the current Sonic voice actors into it big time. Roger Craig Smith as Sonic, Mike Pollock as Dr. Eggman, Cindy Robinson as Amy, and the current voice actor for Tails, Knuckles. But who would play Big, though? That's my big opinion. And who would play E102 Gamma? Who would play Tikal? So many unanswered questions. I'd love to see a remastering, but in my opinion, I don't think that Iizuka and the current Sonic team could handle it. And they're not even the original Sonic team, and with how Forces did, I don't think they even know what to do with Sonic. Much like Some Call Me Johnny said, I'd like a return to the original adventure team formula more than anything, because those two games were flawless. And as much as I gripe on Sonic Adventure 2 nowadays because I hardly play it, I only do the Chow system, I'd actually like to see remastering of that game more than anything. Fix the control issues, fix up some of the gameplay a bit, and for the love of God, fix Knuckles' Master Emerald hunting minigame more than anything, because I hate the minigame. I hate the Master Emerald quests in Adventure 2 because of how they dumbed down the radar. Adventure 1's Emerald hunting radar was perfect, because you could search for either one of the 3 Master Emerald shards at any time throughout the level, but in Adventure 2, no. They restrict you to just 1 emerald at a time. Sure, you could probably find the other 2 throughout the stage without having to search for them, but I hate how restricted that is, especially when you play as Rouge and you get to the later stages such as Mad Space and Meteor Herd. Those are the worst stages, and that alone makes me not want to play Knuckles stages anymore. For that matter, would they even consider fixing up Big the Cat's gameplay? Because that's something I'd like to do more than anything. And as I said before, it's very appealing to me because I adore the ever-loving crap out of Sonic Adventure 1. But this is also really terrifying. If it turned out bad, then I hate to say it, ladies and gentlemen, but that would be it for me as a Sonic fan playing the games and everything, because truth be told, guys, the only other Sonic game I played throughout the course of the last 2 years now is Sonic Mania, and possibly some of the fan-made games that people have come out with, because as things stand, Sega's just milking Sonic for every penny he's worth, basically. And I've watched people play Sonic Forces a total of 12 times online. 12 times, and every time I watched people play it, it never came off as appealing to me, even when I watched the final boss get defeated. Although I will say some of the music is good in the game, most of the game was unappealing, and it just didn't feel right to me. When I play a game, I want to have a good time and not blaze through it within the matter of 4 hours or something. I take my time when I play a game. I want to have a good time. I want to get immersed into the story and gameplay, especially with the characters. But if they did this and they screwed up the remake or remaster, I pretty much quit playing Sonic games for the rest of my whole entire life, because yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog has been one of my baby boy favorite franchises and characters of all time, but there's a time when you need to move on from that, when you realize, okay, it's not as appealing as it used to be anymore, and it's just, these new games are complete and utter crap. I'm finding something else to play, basically. But, yeah. But in my honest opinion, they could just let the game be. I keep saying honest opinion, but it's true though. I'd probably want to see a new Sonic game with the Chow system more than anything, because as much as I enjoyed playing Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, one thing I loved more than anything is raising the Chow on Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. Going to the Chow Garden, bringing them animals or Chaos Drives and feeding them fruits and nuts, picking them up and cuddling with them, helping them swim and get stronger and faster, harder, better, faster, stronger, was time well worth spent, and it didn't matter to me. On the original Dreamcast, I had to deal with the VMUs and playing Chow Adventure, even having to get batteries for it. Seriously, that was worth it in my honest opinion. But yeah, and considering that Sonic Team isn't really a thing anymore, I honest to God hope that if they did do this, they do it right, they fix the scenarios, and they stick to the original gameplay more than anything. But I'd be on the hype train for this if I didn't consider Sonic Adventure the original to be a pretty solid game as it is. But if they were to do a remastering of the game, I have this to say to this much. I have some demands if they were to do this, basically, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. First thing, do not include the boost feature into this game. We do not need the boost feature, seriously. Yeah, Sonic Colors, Sonic Unleashed, and even for that matter, Unleashed and Generations are the games that use the boost feature with Sonic nowadays and everything, but do we really need the boost feature for Adventure 1? No, we do not, because I don't need to blaze through a stage at supersonic speed, collecting rings or going through the stage, because when I played through Sonic Adventure, I took the time out while running to look at the beautiful scenery, for that matter, and how they developed the stages. That alone made Adventure worth playing, because I love the attention to detail in some of the later stages. Like Emerald Coaster, you can see Station Square off in the distance, or we're playing through the Casinopolis stage and looking at the Knights pinball play table and other unique little things. My other complaint: keep the gameplay as it was. We don't need to make any big changes or anything like that to the gameplay, because it was fine the way it was. Tails has his shortcuts trying to go faster than Sonic, and he was independent and courageous when he was flying, and I felt like I had real control over him and everything. That alone made playing as Tails fun. With Knuckles, keep the gameplay as it is. Do not incorporate Sonic Adventure 2 gameplay into this remastering, because the Emerald Radar in Adventure 1 for Knuckles was perfect. and you could find either one of the 3 emeralds while you're searching through the area instead of just being restricted to one like it is in Adventure 2. That was the worst. Amy's gameplay, while trying to run away from Zero for that matter, I think it was okay, but maybe make Amy a little bit faster. That is the one thing I think that should be done more than anything. Make Amy a little faster. Not too fast, mind you, but faster. And, try not to make the monitor puzzle in the egg carrier stage hot shelter so dang convoluted and long. Big's gameplay, well, I didn't really care for playing it as Big, unfortunately, but just keep it the same, basically. If you have to add in a few fresh tastes, maybe make it like Sega Bass Fishing. And Gamma stages were very good, with the run and gun shooting basically to add more time as you play through the game, basically. And finally, well, yeah, this is the big one. Please include the A Chow Life system in this one. A lot of people have made videos showing how the Unreal Engine could run the Chow Garden and system. And in my honest opinion, the source filmmaker people who use these Sonic models and stuff, it can be done! It can be done as long as you stick to that original formula. But if you have to add in a few things, make it so we can keep track of our Chow on their stats, on their stamina, and everything else, so that way we aren't limited to just using like the Sega Dreamcast VMU to actually look at the stats every single time. That's the worst of all, because I hated having to get batteries for the VMU every time just to play Chow Adventure and take my Chow on a little walk. At least with the GameCube versions of Adventure and Adventure 2, you can see the stats of your Chow rise and grow, for that matter. From their stamina to their speed and everything. Even the Chow Garden was expanded upon with the extras that they added in, such as the shop, and of course the various races and stuff, and the different eggs for that matter. The blue eggs, the red eggs, the pink eggs. Heck, give us the option to make Chow that looks like the main characters, like in the original games. That would be perfect. And that, in my opinion, would make Sonic Adventure Remaster or Remake very good. It'd probably be the same, but at the same time, do it like DuckTales Remastered and add in a few elements to it, like how they did the Amazon level with finding the different little medallions to open up the pathway to the temple, so that way you could get the King's Scepter. If you do that, that would make Adventure 1 Remake flawless, and in my opinion, a well-deserved remake more than anything. But if you add in the boost feature to this game, if you do like Sonic Forces, then you can consider me done with Sonic the Hedgehog games in general. I will just play fan-made games, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm sick and tired of the games doing so mediocre, or for that matter, being cringeworthy like Boom. I've watched people play Forces a total of 12 times online, whether through live streams or whether through Let's Plays, and there's no way in hell I would even consider getting Sonic Forces. True, I'd be able to create my own character and everything, but putting my OC character Leon Henderson Hedgehog or my female wolf character Crystal Kennedy in there, it wouldn't feel the same. It wouldn't feel right with how limited the custom avatar is. And the fact that Classic Sonic was included in there, excuse me, Classic Sonic did not need to be added into that game as a tie-in with Mania. I'm sorry, but no. And Infinite's hype was built up to the point where he was going to be like the penultimate villain, and yet he disappears in such a mediocre fashion and Eggman takes control of the final boss option again. However, 3 phases of the final boss, while okay, didn't feel like a true final boss in my opinion, like it is with Sonic Lost World's final boss. It felt like a copy and paste of the Egg Nega Wisp fight, or for that matter, the giant final boss of Lost World. Seriously, that was the worst. Although the music was good, I hated watching the final boss of Forces. That was the worst. Seriously. And although I will say this again, although I do still love Sonic as a franchise from the comic books and the merchandise and everything, I'm sorry, but I don't see myself staying with this fan base for another year if they put out another mediocre Sonic game and it fails to live up to the expectations. If Sonic Team Racing doesn't do good, then I might consider myself just sticking with the fan-made games, because at least the fan-made games have a lot of effort and sweat and tears and blood put into them. But yeah, that's gonna do it. What do you guys think? Do you think a Sonic Adventure remastering or remake is possible with how Sega has been putting out the games lately? Leave your comments in the comment section below, because I'd really like to touch upon this sometime. But for now, this is LeoHightower, and this has been Leo's High View. I will see you guys in the next episode. Until then, peace out.